Welcome to the Daily Review. This is Fed Razak, Senior Trading Strategist here at CMTrading. And today is November 8th, 2023, and today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, Microsoft pushing and closing in to its all-time highs at $361 a share. Now, highs is $366, so it's made a huge comeback. But first, looking at today's major economic events, nothing scheduled. However, corporate earnings does continue. Today, we have Disney coming out with their quarterly earning reports. Now, looking at the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, the euro and the British pound sell off lower and retrace after having that big spike earlier in the week. Now, looking at the indices, both the Dow Jones and the NASDAQ are really tapering off and not trading much. And looking at commodities, gold bounces while oil tanks and sells off. Now, looking at the stocks, both Microsoft and Amazon push the markets higher. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin trading at its upper range. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go with the Euro USD. It's almost at 50%, where the British pound is lower. But you can see relatively that we had that spike and now we're kind of tapering off from it. Now, it could be that we're now making a new kind of range-bound trading somewhere between this 107 and 105-ish level right now. So keep that in mind as this is still figuring itself out. Now, looking at the British pound, it did get that 50% retracement and is sitting on 30-day moving average on a 4-hour chart. Now, looking at a daily, it's a little bit clearer, and it's getting closer to an 8-day moving average, which potentially could be that 50% retracement level that I was talking about that I expected, and then we'll be bouncing off of it. So keep that in mind as well. Now, looking at the Turkish lira, I'm not going to say more. It's just a sell and hold. I mean, this thing has just completely continued, just getting weaker and weaker versus the US dollar. Now, jumping into commodities, gold gets a bounce to 1967 from 1960. Not a big deal, but it has broken that downwards trend, at least for now. So keep that in mind. This was a previous resistance. So this as well, it makes sense that it bounces at this area. Now looking at crude oil, look at that. Falling right out of bed. Daily chart to $77. We dip below $80 a barrel. Looking at a weekly, that's even breaking down that 30-day moving average, which is very significant. So we could see ourselves getting back to that low 70-ish area if we break $75. So that is very important as well. Now, jumping into the U.S. markets, Dow Jones not doing much, and neither was the NASDAQ, okay? However, certain stocks were. Let's take a look at it. Microsoft pushing all the way to $360-ish as it almost pushed above 366 as its all-time high. So keep that in mind. This could be a major comeback for Microsoft. And taking a look at Amazon also getting close to its 144 high as well, as that has really made a huge comeback. Okay, so both of these stocks are really pushing the markets higher. Now, Apple extended its gains as well, and I'm taking a look at a weekly chart first, and you could see we're just breaking that 200-day moving average, which is there. Now, looking at a daily, boom, we're right there. We're at resistance-ish area. So today is going to be a very telling sign to see are we going to be pushing higher or not. And this is really important as we're getting into middle of November, getting closer to Thanksgiving-ish time, where the markets generally rally into the end of the year. So this may be a tipping point where we may retrace a little bit and then push higher towards the end of the year. Keep that in mind, at least for now. Now, looking at Intel also pushing higher as well. Okay, so it's not just one stock that's pushing the markets higher, but it has to be consistent. It has to be over a few days that it's doing it. Now, lastly, let's take a look at Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes to 35,500, top of its range, tapers off. Very characteristic of it. Okay, it's going to be trading in a really tight range until it pops either higher or lower, and that remains to be the same. This is Fed Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.